Hi, so we're going to follow on from the last video and look at how to use the snapshots feature in Alchemy, which is down in the perform section. So this is a really kind of innovative and interesting area. So in the previous video we created this kind of acid-based tone, so I'll just play you a little bit. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what we're working with. So in the previous video we set up this sound and we used all 8 of these performance controls. And what the snapshots let us do is store settings for these in each one of these pads. And then what we can do, rather than having to try and control all of these at once, is we can actually move this around and it's going to change the settings. So I'll just run through how we do that. So first things first, I will start with a very kind of more of a low frequency sound, and I'm not going to add anything like the 7th or the LFO or the delay. Just keep it quite basic to start with. Okay, so that will do. So how I'm going to store the snapshots, you'll see that it changes kind of colour, the background where it's got the numbers when we switch to the different ones, but I'm going to put this one on 1, so I'm going to right click and then I'm going to store the snapshot on 1. Then I'm going to move over to 2 and make another sound. And effectively what we're doing is creating 8 different synth patches that we can freely mix between. So it's kind of really powerful. Okay, so that one will do for 2. I'll move on to 3. So do that one on 3. Store that one on 4. So already I'm just going to run through the snapshots I've stored. Okay, so let's go for something a little different, I think, with vibes. So I'm going to bring that 7th note in. Okay, so that's sounding quite a bit different. So we'll store that one on 5. I'll go for something relatively similar, maybe with some LFO added. Sounding nice. Store that one on 6. And then we're nearly there. 7. And then for 8, I'm going to go for something quite extreme with the delay. Let's put the 7th note right in there. No envelope at all there. Okay, so now I've got 8 different snapshots saved. So you can see all as I move this around, all of the controls kind of fade between one another. So we've got access to so many sounds, and it'd be absolutely impossible for us to physically do this because we've only got 2 hands. So really we can move far more. It's almost like 4 different people being able to control a synth together. So what I'm going to do at this point is save this patch. So I'll call it acid-based snapshots. Remove that capital letter. Okay, so another interesting feature is we can make these move between snapshots using MIDI, and the way we do this is we go to where it says octave, find an octave that we're not using, so I'm going to go for the lowest octave because it's very rare that you can ever program anything there. And then what this lets us do is it essentially disables those keys for being MIDI triggers, and it uses them to trigger. So I'm just playing on my keyboard now. It's just triggering the different patches so we can quickly switch between 8 different sounds. Okay, so you've got essentially 8 synth patches, and you can move between them freely like that if you choose, or you can use MIDI to trigger it, which is really, really powerful. Okay, hopefully this has been useful, and thanks for listening. Bye.